Hey guys, it's Kelsey and I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. This is a design team layout for Festive Friday. So this is for Wear Your Pearls Day, which is December 15th. So this is going to also be kind of for a color play challenge for the Secret Kit Club's party weekend. So this was for the fall palette, which is basically what my background paper is. It's almost identical. So I'm just rolling with that. These papers are from Die Cuts with a View Autumn Chill. And I thought I just went with the mood board or the color palette perfectly. So it's kind of where I'm starting. I have this photo of Bennett and Kevin being adorable again while I was babysitting. And so I pulled out this polka dot paper because it just went so perfect with the color scheme. It brought in the circles, which are one of the things on the list that we had to pull in from Festive Friday. So I kind of already have that incorporated. I also like that it had all the colors. So as I pull in these other scraps from the paper pad, they all kind of correlate. So really had this polka dot background, pulled in some scraps with correlating colors and plonked them down. That's kind of where I'm starting. I liked how they already laid on the paper, so I'm just building out from there. So the list of things we had to choose from for this challenge was pearls, rhinestones, circles, vintage, clean or simple, black and white, friendship theme, pink, doily or lace, and embossing paste. So we had to choose at least 3. So I have circles, I have a friendship thing, I know I'm going to pull in a doily. I kind of tried doing the simple clean aesthetic. I don't know if I was successful because I have a really hard time leaving things more simple. I feel like I always need to add stuff, but I tried, so you guys can make the decision on that. But I laid these scraps down how they were. I really liked having this vertical column with some of these scraps building off of it. So that's kind of where I started. This paper pad does have some rose gold foiling, although I don't think I actually pulled in really any of the papers with rose gold foiling, but it just made me feel like I wanted to use these thickers, so I did pull those in. I'm just calling it Best Friends. I have 2 thicker sheets here. I'm taking the best from this sticker sheet here, and I'm using Friends from the Root Beer Float font. So I think that looks really cute. I really like the way this rose gold glitter looks with this collection. So that's just going to be my title, and that's going to make this kind of friendship theme work for the challenge. Sorry, I'm still a little stuffy from being sick, so sorry about that. But I really like how this is going, so I kind of decided to pull in some of these leafy thickers from the thicker sheet as well, just to pull that glitter to the other side of the page. I'm going to tuck a doily behind the title really quick before I forget. I thought maybe I might put it on the top of the page, but I ended up liking it better behind this title here, so I'm going to tuck that behind there really quick. But I wanted something else from these rose gold glittery thickers, so I did take some of the leafy bits and stack them up on the right side of the photo just so that was kind of balanced on either side. I don't think I'd do it just yet. I am going to go back with this little scrap of polka dot. I wanted a little bit of extra detail and get another scrap on this page, so I am just doing a little scallopy border detail. I'll tuck that up underneath the photo. That also has polka dots and circles on it, so again, I'm kind of repeating that circle theme. I really wanted to bring in that more chocolatey dark maroon color, so that little scrap helps me with that. And then I do go back and branch out a little bit more on the horizontal shelf, but I don't know if I do that yet or not. Here I am going through some more scraps. Just wanted to find one more thing to kind of add to the layeriness. I really like how it looks doing this vertical thing, but I was really feeling more of an L design. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now, if I can find one more pattern paper to pull in to kind of branch outwards. I do find this nice little green scrap that has some leaves and some acorns on it, very autumnal, but still very fresh. It brings that lighter green in from the background, so I really like that. I decided I'm going to cut that into a banner, and I'm going to have that as a little shelf running horizontally across the page, so that kind of creates that L design I was going for. So I'm going to cut that fishtail banner really quick, and then you will just see I tuck that in coming off of the title, and then I will cut it and stretch it across the rest of the page so it looks like it runs behind my photo, although I don't have a piece that large, so just trying to cheat the system a little bit. So I'm going to tuck that in there. And then you will see that other scrap that I had, I will glue to the opposite side, so it just looks like it's one piece. There we go. I didn't know if at first I was going to have that piece running over the dark green, but I decided to have it look like a background layer, so I ended up putting it behind all the layers. I think that looks better. And here I go back with those leafy pieces. I'm just going to run those up the vertical column on this side just to kind of accentuate that design point, but I really like that it brings that glitter and that texture to the other side of the page, because I really don't embellish too much other than this. I was really trying to keep it clean and simple. So I do have that as embellishment. With me wanting to keep it clean and simple, I just pulled in a few white elements. So I do have some goodies from Jennifer. So I pulled in this really nice leafy border. I'm going to tuck that in on the horizontal as well. I really like how that looks really fresh, but it kind of sticks with the autumn theme. This photo, again, it's not an autumn photo, I don't think, but I just think Bennett and Kevin look so cute together, and they look cozy and cuddly, and I just felt like the vibe went, so I'm sticking with it. Again, same with that leaf. I'm just going to cut the piece that was going to be covered up and stretch it to the other side of the page so it looks like it runs across the entire horizontal shelf. And I really like how that looks. I'm scooching the word friends over a little bit just because I didn't like how much the S was hanging off of that pink scrap. So I'm scooching over a tiny bit. It just makes me feel better about it for some reason. And then I will get looking into what I will do next. I do have this big open space on the upper left-hand corner, and I really wanted to not put anything too heavy there, but I wanted something interesting, and I thought it might be nice to pull in some vellum. So I did just punch some hearts, and I decided to do some white stitching with like a few rows of vertical stitching that would stitch through those vellum hearts. So I think that adds a really light, nice, simple touch, but it adds some interest and some texture up there. So I'm just going to do that super quickly. I sped this part up a lot. But yeah, I really wanted to incorporate some vellum, but I didn't want to do glue or anything because I didn't want you to see that through the vellum. So just stitching them straight to the page is a really nice way to get them on there. And then I just pulled up the sides of the hearts a little bit so you could see some of the dimension, but I think that helps fill in that space without like making it seem too heavy. It still seems open over there, even though now there is detail. And since I did pull in vellum, I wanted vellum somewhere else on the page as well. So I did just take that scallop border punch again and just punch a scrap of the vellum. And I'm going to tuck that in along the vertical pieces that you can see running behind the larger scraps behind the photo. So I'm just going to gut that and stretch it to the bottom. Again, I don't have too much vellum left over. I'm really just trying to make my scraps stretch. So using them in little pieces like this that make them look like they could be bigger pieces kind of helps me get away with that. But I like that balance that it adds. I didn't want vellum just in that one quadrant of the page, so I like that it's now incorporated into the paper layers as well. And then to finish it off, I just did 3 clusters of white Nuvo drops. Again, super clean and simple and fresh, but it helps add a little bit more white. It accentuates the circles again, so I got those elements all on here. So if you guys want to play along, I will always link Festive Friday stuff in the description for these design team layouts. There's information on how to enter the challenges, and it's always super fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.